Hello everyone, it's Mark Shalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars, and I'm coming right back at you with yet another spectacular vehicle. Today, I'm sitting behind the wheel of an absolutely gorgeous 1968 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 with a Crossram. This vehicle has been certified by Camaro expert Jerry McNeish. You've got to check it out. To start off this presentation here, this is a non-rehearsed video. I'm sure there's going to be some information that I do forget, so please visit our website at msclassiccars.com for a complete description with a ton of highly detailed photos. If you have or have not been following MS Classic Cars, please note I only collect number 1, number 2 condition vehicles. We've been doing that since inception. We're very proud to say that we're the only classic car dealership in the country that services everything that we sell, and we document that work with an invoice. As an example, in this brand new binder that I do create for every car, the invoice is first and foremost here, and it shows you on this particular vehicle everything that we've done. We invested a total of $9,249.32 in this vehicle. I'll say it over and over again, regardless of who restores the vehicle, when the restoration was done, whether it's factory correct or custom, all classic cars need to be sorted out. MS Classic Cars does that, so the new owner has nothing to worry about. We, again, are very proud of what we've done. Please do your homework on MS Classic Cars. Now, as we get into the presentation of this particular vehicle, I do want to make a comment here that we specialize in first-generation Camaros, 67, 68, 69. We've had some of the best examples in the world that we're very proud of over the years. So please check that out on our website sold page. You can reference a ton of them. So this particular car here, this is a very special car. In the regard that it's not a fully restored car. This is what I would reference as a lightly restored car. So I'm going to go into the details here and just reference some of my notes throughout the video. This beautiful 1968 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 Crossram has been lightly restored and still has the perfect amount of patina. It retains its original color combination of rally green with white striped exterior and black interior. It also retains its original matching numbers, 302 V8 engine and the original matching numbers M21 4-speed manual transmission. It was certified as authentic by Camaro expert Jerry McNeish of Camaro High Performance in March of 2022. I'd like to give Jerry McNeish a shout out, and also Norm Meads, who works with Jerry, a shout out as well. Two great guys that we've known for a long time. They do a great job. Their judge, he's a leading judge, Jerry is. He's written multiple books. Again, it's a fact that a lot, more than half of all Z28s that are currently on the market are fake. It's very important that you do your homework when you're buying one of these cars. At MS Classic Cars, if we have a real Z28, we make sure it's certified by the expert. Very, very important. Now, as I get back to this, only 7,199 Camaro Z28s were produced in 1968, making it one of the most collectible models during the production year. This example here is an original Norwood-built Z28. As the NCRS shipping data report indicates, this example has a GM official production date of April 24th, 1968. In this binder here, we have the shipping data report, which is something that Jerry McNeish always recommends that you get. This is a really cool deal here. It's got this gold seal. And what it essentially does is just tells you when the production date of the vehicle was, and it tells you what dealer it was shipped to. It's a great bit of information to have when you do have a Z28. This particular car had a rally green exterior with white stripes and a black standard bucket seat interior. It was ordered with the following options. It had tinted glass, it had the door edge guards, it had the console, Posi-Track rear axle with 410 gears. It had the power disc brakes, 4-speed transmission. It had the AM/FM radio. It had the style trim group, and of course the Z28 special engine and equipment group. The original dealer was Merlis Chevrolet in East Detroit, Michigan. From the information gathered, this car was lightly restored in 2003 by its long-term owner. Prior to the restoration, it was a very original car with just over 30,000 original miles. During the restoration process, it was outfitted with a cowl hood for the Crossram setup, which also included the ceramic long tube headers. The Crossram setup was a dealer-installed option and was a popular choice of that era. The paint on this car is high show quality, and the interior is in very good original condition. Since completion of the restoration 20 years ago, it's been handled with the best of care. I was told that this car literally sat in the owner's museum, the guy that owned it for a long time. That's how well it was taken care of over all these years. MS Classic Cars purchased this car in October of 22, and this is the first time the vehicle has been listed for sale. It has 31,353 original miles. So that's kind of the overview of the car, the history, and so forth. So let's kind of get into the exterior. The exterior of this first generation Camaro is one of its highlights. I will tell you, this car is reflective from the exterior paint and bodywork of a true #1 condition car. It is definitely one of the highlights of the vehicle. I can't say enough about how beautiful the body and paintwork is. It looks like it was laid down yesterday. Truly one of the best paint jobs and bodies that we've had, which is a really big deal. From the information I've gathered, it retains all of its original sheet metal with the exception of that cowl hood that I just mentioned. Again, that was replaced for the Crossram setup. The body is super straight, great panel fitment. The hood, the doors, the trunk lid open and close beautifully. The car was only repainted once, again from what I've gathered. And during that restoration process, again, it was done to the highest level. Again, it was refinished in rally green with white stripes. Only 4.6% of 68 Camaro total production was painted rally green. This is a really, really collectible color amongst the enthusiasts, investors, and so forth. The front windshield was replaced brand spanking new. That is crystal clear. All of the remaining glass, I'm referencing the door glass, the quarter glass, and the rear window, is all stamped soft ray from Chevrolet. It's in really good condition, especially considering its age. Now, important that what I did is I kind of walked around the vehicle and I wanted to see what items I thought on the vehicle were still original. This is not engraved in concrete. This is just my opinion. Because the car had such low mileage, there's a lot of patina on this car and some of the stuff is original in great condition. So, again, in my opinion, it's believed the following pieces of this vehicle are still original. Some of the stainless trim, the driver's side mirror, the front bumper, the door handles, the taillight lenses, the rear bumper. Again, they only show minor age and so forth, which is remarkable considering how old it is. I believe that the wiper arms, the antenna, the fender trim, the lower moldings, the emblems were replaced during the restoration. The front black spoiler is actually from a 69 model, which a lot of people wouldn't even know. I just want to be transparent as possible and point that out. That's on the lower portion. You'll see it in the photos. The rear spoiler was also added to this car, so it is missing the rear trunk Camaro emblem. Again, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it, be transparent. The car does sit on its original DF-coated silver wheels with the chrome trim rings and center caps. The 68 Rally wheel caps are large style center cap, also used in the 69 production. The wheels are wrapped with Firestone Super Sports F70-15 tires that look awesome, but I want to be correct here. They're not what the car was born with and so forth. They're not correct actually for a 68 Camaro. The Z28s were equipped with the Goodyear E70-15 raised white letter wide oval tread GTs. But again, these tires look awesome on this car, especially the red with the green. I thought it was a really cool thing. Down the road, if somebody wants to change the tires and they want to put on the correct tires, you can do that. It's not a huge cost, and sell these or whatever the case might be. Now, as we get into the interior, as I mentioned, this is an original interior. Believe it or not, after 55 years, it's in exceptional condition with only minor signs of age. It still smells like an original interior. Again, some of the original interior trim includes the headliner, sun visors, brackets, rear view mirror, dash pad, gauges, steering column, the heating control panel, AM/FM radio, door sills, door panels. It just goes on and on. It still has the original 6,000 RPM redline, 7,000 RPM tachometer. Most of the wiring in this car is original throughout. Some of the replaced items that we've noticed, the door locks, the knobs, the Astro vents, the Hurst shifter. It does have Jensen rear speakers in the back. So only a few little things were done over the years. It does have custom floor mats that say Z28. They kind of match the Rally Green exterior. But other than that, this is an original interior. Very spectacular. Everything in this interior is in working order with the exception of the clock. As we make our way to the trunk compartment, that was lightly restored. It was refinished in its original trunk splatter paint. It was outfitted with the correct style trunk mat. It is equipped with a matching spare tire that was added by the team in MS Classic Cars, so it does have a Redline full-size spare in the back that we ordered brand new when we did our service work. And all the jack tools are back there as well. As we make our way to the engine compartment, again, the engine compartment was lightly restored. It's super clean throughout. The hidden VIN stamping in the cowl is visible and authentic. A lot of people don't know that actually there's a VIN number to the cars in the cowl sections. So you know, again, you can just match numbers and everything else. This car has that. The firewall, inner fenders, and radiator support were finished in the correct shade of black. The 9078 brake booster is dated the 3/46 day of 1967, so that's original. The car is powered by its original matching numbers 302 engine. Again, you can get into all the details in my description about the engine, the cast number, the stamping numbers, etc., etc. The engine was completely rebuilt. It runs excellent. It was outfitted with a reproduction Crossram intake with 2 Holley carburetors and chrome air cleaner that matches the factory valve covers. Just so you understand, an original Crossram setup from the these Crossrams were actually sold through the dealership parts department. An original one today ranges between like $20,000 and $30,000. They also make a Crossram reproduction, which is basically a copycat of the original, and they range anywhere from like $5,000 to $10,000. So it's a very expensive deal because it's just something that, you know, is a real cool thing to have. And then when you do that, of course, you have to change the hood. And it was common to put headers on the car like you see here today. That was kind of an error correct theme. I will mention that the original intake for this car and the original carburetor are both included. We will have a picture of those in our gallery if you want to reference those. The engine, again, breezed through those long tube headers that connect to the polished stainless steel dual exhaust system that sounds excellent. The engine is coupled to the original matching numbers Muncie M21 4-speed transmission. So again, original engine, original transmission. The engine Really, again, runs spectacular. The car shifts great. The clutch is easy to use. It even has the original Muncie speedometer hole stamped into the firewall that's underneath the windshield wiper motor. Again, all the transmission numbers and everything are in our description. If you really want to get into that, you can read all of that. The power is transferred to the 12-bolt posi rear end that, again, has the 410 gears. We have numbers for the rear end. You can get involved with that as well. It's believed that this is a re-stamped rear axle, which means it was replaced at some time. Not sure when that was done, maybe during the restoration. Not really sure, but that's the only thing about the drivetrain that's not original, and the rear end is not really a big deal, but I just wanted to be transparent. When you look at the undercarriage of this car, it's also lightly restored and very clean throughout. The original floors are in great condition with no rust, dents, or holes. It still retains many, again, if it's original parts. Everything underneath was restored or replaced. Fuel system, the steering components, suspension components, the power disc brake system. Again, we did all of the service work at MS Classic Cars. I will quote Jerry McNeish here to wrap up this presentation. This is an original Norwood built Z28 with factory installed 302 290 horse V8 engine, 4-speed transmission, and 12-bolt rear axle. Original Z28s are hard to find in today's Camaro collector world, and the fact that this car has survived the past 54 years, that was because he did the certification in 22, now it's 55 years, with a full drive, without a full drivetrain failure, makes this car rare and desirable. Again, those are the words from Jerry McNeish. So again, check it out. Make sure to visit the website. Look at all the photos that we've done. Do your homework on MS Classic Cars. If you have not signed up for our VIP email blast, please do so. It's the best way to follow us. We have thousands of customers that are on that. We're also on all the social media networks and so forth. So again, we appreciate you watching this. If you want to call me, feel free. Email me, feel free. I'll answer any questions I can and really go over the vehicle in more detail if need be. We appreciate you watching this video. I am going to go ahead and start this car. I will make note that I did start this car a few minutes ago before this video. I pulled it outside. It literally turned over in a couple of seconds. It does not have any type of automatic chokes with these dual carburetors, so I just had to babysit it for maybe a minute outside. It smoothed right out to roughly 1,000 or so RPM, somewhere in that ballpark. I let it warm up for maybe just a minute or two, and here we are right now. So I'm going to go fire it up and let you listen how beautiful it runs. But once again, we appreciate you watching. That's it. And that's still relatively cold right now, and you can see how beautiful it runs. We appreciate you watching. Thank you.